Hi, everybody. This is your friend Daniel Hutchins. We're back again for our friends' comic book resources, and we're going to be talking about more Moon Knight. Yes, more Moon Knight news. Did Moon Knight, spoiler, kill Layla's father? Okay, this is a mystery that's been going around since the next episode. Again, Moon Knight's latest episode has a murder mystery, and though Mark has identified the killer, their identity might be more complicated than he realizes. This was 20 hours ago. There are spoilers again for the episode 4, again on Disney Plus. It has been established since the very first episode that Mark Spector is the primary persona of Moon Knight. He's been keeping secrets up from his estranged wife, Layla, who had hidden a burner phone in Stephen Grant's apartment, one of his alternate personas with no memory of his time as Mark. This showed dozens of missed calls over the course of his months, and again, Stephen discovered the phone, answered one of her calls, but it was clear that she had been searching for Mark relentlessly and was relieved to finally hear from them. A bite using a voice and a tone she had never heard from before. After the complicated reunion, Mark is very clear that Layla has no idea of who he is, and she might have thought. Again, it is another attempt on his part to create some distance between them, since the Kanju, who is the Egyptian god we saw from episode 3, again, has made it clear that Mark retires from his service. Layla, who is an avatar, has to choose next. Okay, so the fourth episode saw Mark confessing another secret who rattles on Layla in the court to say that the night her father was killed, something he always kept secrets from her. Mark also tells her who did it, and the answer might not be as simple as he thought. Related to this article, MCU theory has Kang already altered history? Well, we're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. Layla and Stephen are racing to Amit's tomb to get the stone relic and imprisons her divine presence before her avatar with Arthur Harrow and his disciples, meant to resurrect the goddess so she might render judgment to the souls of humanity prior to any foul deeds they might commit, execute them preemptively. While Layla and Stephen want to ensure she's remained sealed away on Kanju's behalf, each fraction has navigated the maze of tunnels beneath the sands where Layla encounters Hero alone. He told her that Mark was in an excavation site the night of her father's murder. When she and Stephen were reunited, she summoned Mark within the shared physique and confronted him about Hero's accusation. He admits that there is to be told his partner got greedy and killed her father. Layla was horrified, and revelation spun around her betrayals. Link, in that very moment from her whole relationship, and began questioning the very truth for her history and existence with one another. Again, no, it doesn't really give his partner a name that some are educated guesses made based on source materials and clues we've seen thus far. Though Moon Knight has gone through more few iterations and retcons in comics, Jean Paul Duchamp, affectionately known as Frenchie to Mark, is a stalwart ally and trusted friend of Spectre's. They worked together for years and hired guns and Mark in the role of infiltrator and Frenchie, usually depicted a pilot and governor of information. He's kind of a man who loves unnecessary violence to keep the best precious secrets of Mark's. And again, also evidence that he has some role to play in television shows. Again, we know the first episode where Steven found Mark's hidden phone and scrolled through the call history to see if there was only one left by Layla, the one that read Duchamp. Again, related to this article, is Moon Knight secretly setting up a backstory of the MCU's next Thanos? We're not talking about that. We're talking about something else. So, from comic book adaptations, always requiring a shifting of roles for varieties of different reasons, altering Frenchie from a staunchly moral right hand man to a greedy murderer would feel overly reconstructive. Mark could also be referring to a man who actually killed someone in the comics, and partner of sorts to the Bushmen he took from jobs he teamed up on occasions to continually with the problematic arch nemesis. This would require no justification at all, but it would also introduce a brand new character in the fourth episode of the sixth from a limited series. We already saw a more elegant third option. The killer was someone closer to Mark, and he was unaware of the truth. Again, guys, so the show has been teasing quite blatantly. There is another shared physique in the crowd body of Moon Knight. Comics, the third persona is Jake Lockley, who's a cab driver identity who's described a combination of worse things marking his first from distinct identity disorder. This has accumulated darkness that Jake is so profound to fighting a psychic vampire called the Truth. Jake had let himself enter his mind and result in agony of parasitic telepaths, and, again, not to mind control that was briefly effective to Mark. Related to this article, the gods of Moon Knight are literally the worst. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. Now, the truth also notes that Jake was keeping the host hostage of, again, hidden behaviors away from Mark through the series revealing that there are secrets of something Mark has purposely partitioned off. In agreement with Jake, he, in a form of plausible deniability, meant to ensure the relative suitability of the mental health and the stability of it. In the third episode, Mark and Steven are both bewildered after Mark is standing amidst the groups of fresh corpses and a young man held captive. This is also one instance when they cannot account for the time spent. This is clear that something has been propelling them, usually in a very terrifying, violent way. Again, in the last episode, we just saw Mark enters and appears to be a psychic domain where he takes the form of an asylum. In an effort to escape, he comes across a room with a sarcophagus, muffled, pounding inside. He opens inside and he finds his other self. And then across the way he runs, and then you kind of know the rest. So I kind of also kind of talked about it a little bit in the other video I talked about today about the hippo goddess. There's more information you can read about that part where he tried to escape the asylum. I talked a little bit about that in the hippo goddess video that I talked about. So watch that one first and then watch this one. They're both on the channel. So again, check that one out first and check this one. And then if you've seen both of them, you'll get a better clue of where I'm talking about with how him, Mark, and Steven are trying to escape the asylum. Again, so let me know your thoughts again about the Moon Knight show. And again, if you think that's weird or you thought that's interesting, and again, you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your late morning. I'm going to be posting still more still. But again, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.